On April 20th, 2010, disaster struck the Gulf of Mexico. 80 kilometers off the shore of Louisiana, an offshore oil drilling station called Deepwater Horizon experienced a massive explosion. The drilling station was built in 2001 and is owned and operated by the British global energy company BP, British Petroleum. The explosion caused an oil leak that is spilling oil into the Gulf at an alarming rate, and the size of the oil slick continues to grow. In the aftermath of this disaster, there have been several environmental and economic impacts. Among the most obvious impacts are those on the environment. Oil has devastating effects on the flora and fauna it encounters. Originally, BP estimated that anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 barrels of oil were being spewed into the Gulf of Mexico daily, but private estimates predict that those numbers are inaccurate. Steve Wehrle, a professor of mechanical engineering at Purdue University, told CNN's American Morning that he has evaluated that the spill could be as big as 20,000 to 100,000 barrels a day. As the oil is gushed into the Gulf, a film of oil slick is left on the surface of the water. This oil slick is very dangerous to the plants and animals in the affected area. The slick prevents the exchange of oxygen and water, which destroys plant life. If birds and mammals get the slick on their bodies, the oil has many lethal effects. A study done by the Australian Maritime Safety Authority has uncovered many of the dangerous ramifications of oil on marine life. When birds become coated in oil, it destroys the insulation and waterproofing properties of their feathers, which causes hypothermia. If a bird is not killed by hypothermia, it becomes easy prey for predators because the oil weighs the bird down and makes flying difficult. The oil has similar effects on other animals, such as fur seals. Oil has toxic effects on birds and marine animals. The oil causes damage to red blood cells, organs, fish eggs, and the adrenal tissue of birds. It also decreases the thickness of eggshells and prevents further reproduction because ill animals are less likely to breed. Destroying plant and animal life throws off the balance of the entire Gulf ecosystem. The death of animals has a devastating effect on the fishing market, and as the oil reaches the delicate wetlands, it destroys the homes of many marine animals. Fishing is a crucial part of the economy in the states bordering the Gulf of Mexico. 37% of fishing areas in the Gulf have been closed, and a company that sells Gulf shrimp is selling less than 17% of the shrimp that they sold last year at this time. The price of Gulf seafood has risen up to 50% of its usual cost, and buyers are hesitant to purchase food from the area. Quote, Louisiana seafood processors are reporting canceled orders from buyers nationwide and that more restaurants are posting notices that they're not selling Gulf seafood, end quote. Offsetting the losses of this disaster will be impossible. Countless businesses are in economic ruins, and many will never be able to come back from a hit this big. Louisiana state officials wrote a letter to BP stating that, quote, the future of this industry is in peril, end quote. But at the current rate of cleanup, it will take years for the fishing industry to bounce back to its pre-spill status.
Without this, no, I don't know. I got wife and two little kids. So I gotta do something, I don't know.
Fishing isn't the only business that is hurting due to the effects of the BP oil spill. Tourism along the Gulf of Mexico has also been damaged. People have been canceling their vacations due to fear that the oil will spread. Louis Scrametta, the co-owner of a ferry company, says, quote, this is our worst nightmare. How do you downplay the fact that we've got a well gushing oil into the water out there? End quote. The effects have already begun to manifest in the Gulf Coast's $2 billion tourism industry. Vacation rentals are down by 60% in some areas, and if the oil spill is not capped soon, the state of tourism will only go down. If anything is certain about this catastrophe, it is that action needs to be taken to stop the flow of oil. If the residue is not cleaned up quickly, the ecological damage will be irreversible, and the lives of thousands of fishermen in the Gulf Coast will be ruined. The Gulf is bleeding, and it is our job to heal it.